Hello, everyone. This is my McFarlane Batmobile Batmissile. It's taken me about a month, give or take, of work on it. And I had a spare Batmobile. I'd bought two in case I messed my original one up when I redone the canopy and all the other little things I'd done to it. And I said, well, what can I do with it? So I decided that since I liked the Bat Missile and I thought it was really cool, I thought I would make it. So what I did first is decided where I was going to cut, which it was actually really easy to cut. I used a razor knife, a couple of score lines, and it just broke right apart. It was made out of really, really cheap plastic, McFarlane's usual. And I took the centerpiece, the canopy, and the rear piece, and I saved the afterburner. I had to figure out what I was going to use to combine it all together. I did use the interior. I had to cut it down quite a bit to get it to work right. And I elongated, I had to cut and stretch this out. All the back part here is Bondo. Probably, I've added about almost 3 inches the overall length of the car. The front nose is about a half-inch drop and about an inch farther out. The canopy, just like with my other one, had to be cut. All this part taken out. This part, it was just a giant chunk of Bondo, and then I had to do all the carving. I was going to wait for Ramen Toys, but I didn't know when his would be shipping, and I'm not throwing off on his at all, but he doesn't get the slope, the front slope right. Of course, I angled this one a little bit farther down to kind of make it sleeker with the Bat Missile. But I had to end up remaking the glass. I think the canopy was the worst part of it. I despise working on the canopy. As far as the mechanics of everything goes, I couldn't use the back wheels from the original car. There's just no way to make the fender wells big enough and still work right. It's kind of movie magic, one of those things, but if you watch the movie closely and you look at the actual screen used Bat Missile, all the wheels are the same size. They're the same size as the front, even though the rear wheels of the Batmobile are bigger. And it'll kill your brain if you think about it too much. But in the movie, there's no logical way that anything like this could ever work because all four wheels of the Batmobile line up. Where does the turbine go? Where does the afterburner go? It just doesn't make sense. Plus, there was just no way to make the McFarlane Batmobile narrow enough to where I could make it four wheels that would all line up and make them roll. Because this hardware wouldn't be near strong enough. This is made out of just polystyrene, expanded PVC, headphone cord, wraparound PVC tubing to make the spring. I tried to keep it as close to accurate as possible, but I drawed inspiration from, of course, the really cool original Kenner. Kenner had a way of making it functional, but yet still movie-esque. It's not, of course, screen accurate either, but it still looks good. And no, I had people ask, there's just no way to reattach the sides. You could probably figure out a way to make it look halfway decent, but where I've extended the car, it would stick way too far out the back. Plus, the original Kenner did not have the expanded section right here because of them reattaching it to make it look like the real Batmobile. With this section here, there's no way to get it to work right. There's my Batman Returns Batman. He still fits in it. Still looks great. The wheels themselves, I had to figure out a way to get 8 wheels when I only had 2. So I ended up making molds of the back side and the front side. And then I just made resin cast of that, which this thing is a brick. It weighs about 9 pounds and something. It's almost 10 pounds. It's mostly just wood, Bondo, and resin. So it's pretty blocky. The afterburner, I did use the original off of it, and I configured it to where it drooped down and molded into the body. Of course, I painted it to make it look like it had been heated up. Of course, you see underneath, all this is just wood, and then everything else is Bondo, Bondo, Bondo. The front turbine is just like with the other Batmobile. I had to throw the original junk, oversized, ugly turbine away. And I incorporated one that I made. The mechanics, of course, they're not actually the axle of the car. They're just sitting on top of it, but it gives the effect. And then I had to sculpt in, slowly Dremel out the intakes. The interior is pretty much stock. I done some repainting, and of course, like I said, I had to do a lot of cutting to get it to fit right. And of course, I had to take out the ejector for the canopy opening up. There was just nowhere back in here to go because all this is solid now. Again, it's not exactly screen accurate by any means, but I think it's a pretty good interpretation of the Batmissile. I guess I could have redone the bodywork to be more like the movie, where the canopy's just really, really, really tiny and barely a slit. But I would have had to do a lot of bodywork here. Even the Kenner got the roundness of the Batmobile right when McFarlane just kind of threw it together, but I'm not going to go into that again. It's kind of hard to beat the original. Kenners will always be the best. Even for 35 years old, they hold up really well. And that is my Kenner Batmissile. And I really appreciate you all for watching. And if you will, like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, thank you.